Hello, welcome to my channel. You're on Eva J's Mystical Messages, and today's meditation is more or less about human attachment, about how we can grow attached to certain things, objects in our lives that may not seem so obvious. It's a little bit, it's not just about people, card readers, or people wanting to prevent touching people's other spiritual tools that other people use, but rather about objects that we have grown up with, objects that we have in our lives, um, some sort of spiritual attachment to. Today's meditation is going to be a little bit different in that sense because I will be showing you some objects that I have very deep human attachment to, and they may come across as a little bit odd or a little bit ironic, but it is what it is. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Today is day number 7, and it is February 26, 2025. And I'm speaking with Nigel today. And I start out by saying I'm going to try hard not to talk about politics. Whenever I do, I somehow feel a really big lump in my stomach. And Nigel says, yes, love, that can happen. And often it is your body telling you that you must release this tension and rise above it. And I said, Nigel, what can I do to find that sense of peace? It seems like every time I feel some sort of calm, the universe throws me a curveball. Nigel says, learn to hit it. But seriously, the universe actually wants to see you succeed. It may not always appear that way, but it is what it is, and it is the truth. You have a large capacity to care for others. You have compassion and empathy for them. I can see that manifest in you. I know that sometimes it is hard to see the light in others, but the reality is every person does have that light within them, and there is a power in all the people. The problem is so many people have given their light and power over to others, or worse still, to some inanimate object. And I said, you mean like money? And Nigel says, exactly. You understand that there are some objects that do have energy. Cards, rods, pendulums. All of those objects are bearers of energy. You hold the cards in your hand, you put your energies into the pendulum and the rods. All of these things harbor your energy. They cannot be transferred to another because your energies are manifest in them. One of your bears has some energies in her, the bear you call Madeline. You love her, but you sense an energy in her that is disquieting. That is how energy works. The more you hug Madeline, the more old energy leaves her and your energy enters. And here's Madeline. You mean like transfer of energy? And he says, not really. The old energies will be expelled in time and your energies will take their place. The same things can happen with cards. Tarot readers do not want others to touch their cards as it might disturb the energies there. I said, I know this is a stupid question and a parallel, but I don't want to get rid of Maddie because of the energy. And Nigel says, you mustn't. You just hold her onto her and each time you hold her, more of your energy will infuse her. It seems odd that you are asking about one of your many teddy bears. You have many bears from charity shops and other places. You have never experienced this energy with them like you do with her. And I said, why is that? Is there something wrong with my teddy bear? And he said, no, nothing wrong. You just have a strong connection to her. And I said, why? And he says, the act of loving something like a teddy bear is not odd, but the notion of energy put into that teddy bear does seem strange to the casual observer. And I said, what happened to her before I got her? Can you tell me? What sort of place was she in? And Nigel says, where she was a very dark place. The energy that she had was from something tragic, a situation of abuse. Your teddy bear was witness to something very tragic. She was put up on eBay by someone who found her. The past experiences of her were massively difficult and traumatic. I said, is there a child out there who needs her? And he said, no, not anymore. I'm afraid that there's not much else I can say, but your picking up on her energies is quite astounding. You must not let her go. But you must not let the dark energy that surrounds her bring you down. Now that she is with you, her energy will shift. It already has. With the care you give, it will make a positive difference. And I said, I thought it was crazy that I had that feeling with her. She sleeps next to me, but at night I cannot hold her. I could hold on to the other bears, but not her. I thought I was going crazy because I sensed this. And Nigel says, no, not crazy. Do you remember when you first started sensing this energy? I said, last year sometime. I thought that I was imagining things. I wasn't sure what to do about it. I mean, we're talking about a teddy bear, not a set of dowsing rods or a pendulum. And Nigel says, it doesn't matter. There are many things that happen with any kind of formerly used item that you might get. What can I do for Maddie? I asked. I don't want to give her away. Contrary to everything we have discussed, I am rather attached to her. And Nigel says, yes, love, it is your compassion coming into being. What I can suggest is you take her in your hands and hold her and tell her that you wish to release the energy that surrounds her. I said, you know that sounds crazy. And he says, yes, I know, but that is what you can do. If you ask Metatron, he will empower both of you. The energy that surrounds your teddy bear will disperse. Sometimes we cannot change the energy, but the power of light will always overcome the darkness. Metatron can help Madeline with light, and it will help. Remember when you attended a workshop and one of your teddy bears was blessed by a Catholic monk? It is the same idea. A blessing is a way to expel negative energies. Metatron can do this, but so can you. One does not have to be a religious leader. You can take the incentive and say to Madeline, I bless you and release all the dark energies that surround you. Once you do that, then you will be able to hold her at night and she will be like a new bear. I said, that sounds a bit hocus pocusy. How can I do that? He said, just believe in yourself. Believe that you have the power to move a mountain. The act of responding in faith is a grand thing. You can do that. The act of trying to step towards the realization that you have the power within you to do this. If that's the case, then why don't card readers just buy used decks and bless them? And Nigel says, because, well, the cards may be a tool to reading energies, a teddy bear is more prone to human attachments than a deck of cards. The attachment that the child has on a teddy bear is a powerful thing. Look at what happened to you when you had cancer. You did not reach for a deck of cards for stability. What did you reach for? I said, a couple of my teddy bears. And Nigel said, exactly. But you did not question the need you had for them. You had them with you. When you were better able to contend with what was happening around you, you left them at home. The power and energy that you put into them stayed with them as long as you kept putting your energy into them. Once the energy stops, then it begins to fade. I said, you make it sound like these objects are like energy sponges, but isn't that dangerous for objects to be energy sponges? Nigel says, in most instances, yes. But do you recall when you got sick and your husband left to fly home? I said, oh, you mean when we were in Portland? And Nigel says, yes, you kept one of your husband's pajama tops because it had his energy in it. Okay, I said, you are now outlining how crazy I am. Nigel says, no, I am outlining how empathic you are. I am showing you a very finite way how energy works, how good energy makes you stronger, and how dark energy makes you weaker. In expelling the dark energy, you will find that nothing truly exists in darkness without the light. When you make the video today, hold your teddy bear and let us fill her with light. Then the truths will make you feel better, and she will continue to be a special companion. The fact that you are speaking of her might help others. And I said, how so? And Nigel says, think about all the poor children who have toys from charity shops. No one really knows where those toys came from, what energies are in them. But if one person sees this and recognizes that it could happen, then perhaps they will understand what draws them to certain things and what keeps them away. Your grandmother did not want to buy you a patchwork cat back when you were 5 years old because it was tattered, but you wanted it, so you paid a nickel for it and repaired it for you. Today, you still have it. So the impact of someone sensing the energies of material things might prove beneficial. It might explain why people unconsciously feel drawn to specific things, why you felt drawn to the patchwork cat, and why you feel the same sensation with a teddy bear. Human attachments are a part of the human experience, and when people do recognize that they have them, then they will better understand why their children may love a toy that has been battered and torn. And I said, like me and the doll my grandmother made. I played so much with it that I thought of how she was torn to bits, and then I tried to sew her together. My grandmother made me a second doll, but told me that I should throw the first doll away. I never did. I still have her. It sounds crazy, but I still have her. I have both of the dolls my grandmother made. Nigel said, yes, that is the way it is. As a child, you felt the attachment to the doll you named Amy. And then you got the second doll, which you named Patty. You ended up keeping both. As a child, you kept both because you could not imagine getting rid of something just because it was torn. You see, you see people in the same way. Just because someone is old and scarred does not mean they should be cast off. In a sense, the toys you had are almost an extension of you. I said, I suppose so. This does clear up a lot, though. I think now I understand far more about my love of stuffed animals than before. And Nigel says, indeed, I think you truly are a child at heart. And I said, thank you, Nigel. I feel better. And I think now that I understand what was happening with Madeline, she will feel better as well. So that is the meditation for today. It's a little bit strange and a little bit different, but I never really understood what happened with her. About a year ago, I started having this sense that there was something very dark about Madeline. And I really didn't like that darkness, and I didn't really understand it. And I thought that maybe it was just me kind of freaking out because I have this teddy bear that I felt this sort of like I didn't want to hold her at night because I thought that maybe there was something inherently wrong. And this teddy bear has been everywhere with me since I got her. And when we travel to different places, I take pictures of her and sometimes post them online. And the thing is, I have a very deep attachment to her. And she is a very special teddy bear. But she did come from eBay. She was a used teddy bear when I got her. And I had no idea what was going on and why I was having these dark energy surges about her. And when I was speaking to Nigel about her, I felt this very, very dark energy that just really seemed almost palpable. And I thought, my goodness, what is going on here? And Nigel says we just have to surround her with light. So I am surrounding Madeline with a lot of love and light, and I'm hoping that this dark energy will expel and will go away so that she can continue, to be my companion here. But I was very, very hesitant about sharing all of this because I thought it sounded very, very strange. It sounded very almost hocus pocusy, as I said in the meditation. But I'm realizing that maybe this is important. I think that there are a lot of people that have children or grandchildren who might be watching who are wondering what it is about a certain toy that their child has or a child has that is, well, rather like Patch Cat, who is like kind of torn and tattered and a little bit, just a little bit, you know, sort of the, I don't know, just sort of the rough and tumble of playthings. And this cat is, I remember when I was 5 years old, I found it and at the charity shop, and I said, oh, I have to have this. The ears were almost torn completely off, and there were no eyes, and the neck had a rip in it. And my grandmother repaired it, and she added the eyes to it, and then and then as a teenager, I made a friendship bracelet for it, and I still have it. So I never got rid of it, even though when I went through my stuffed animals and donated some to orphanages and stuff, I decided to keep her. I decided to keep the cat. Then I couldn't get rid of it because I was so attached to it. And the same with the dolls and the other things that I have. So while I know that becoming attached to material things is maybe not the most spiritually apt thing to do, I realize that a lot of people have them anyway. They have attachments to certain things. And maybe this video will help explain why it is that we feel or sense the energies of these things when we do. So I'm hopeful. I'm just going to just keep surrounding Madeline with lots of love and light. And I think that the energy will expel and she will be as good as new. So with that said, I wish you a wonderful day. Grab a teddy bear and give it a cuddle, and I'll see you next time when I have another chat with my guardians. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful day. Take care, and as always, namaste.